What's good, Bully World? This is Zeb, your host, Bully Talk with Zeb Pitts. I'm out here with my man, Dave Wilson. What's good, man?
What's good? Hey, before we get into this, let me say a couple real quick things just so y'all understand, because I want to get some things understood before we start this interview. Normally when we do an interview, I try to stay as politically correct as possible, you know? You get a lot of guys always talking about, oh, Dave sounds like a politician, Dave talks like... Well, you know what? Damn right I talk like a politician, because we come from an era, Zeb, that we didn't have all these things in front of us. We had to fight for all these things, you know? So we had to really put on a good show and make sure people really understood we were doing something for a positive, good reason. It took a long way for us to get there. So I do talk politically correct a lot of times, and that's just because I try to protect the image of what we do and the image of the community. I do that for everybody. But calling you here and having you come out here today to interview me, I just want people to understand something. Today, I don't want this to be a politically correct interview. You know, I just want this to be Dave Wilson. I don't want to wear a crown or a hat or anything at this time. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in any position or anything. I just want to be Dave Wilson. A lot of y'all might not know that me and Zeb, we always haven't seen eye to eye, you know, and you know that. I mean, We've had times when we didn't talk. We've had times that we didn't agree on things. You know, I think you haven't always... You do something for the whole community, and the community really needs to understand that. Zeb's always brought you things from all angles, not just Abkc angle, my angle. And again, like I said, we haven't always seen eye to eye. So you're getting interviews from somebody that is actually looking out for the benefit of the community. This is somebody that's not doing it for money. It costs him a lot of money to do these things, to be honest with you. So hopefully y'all have a lot of respect for what he does. And on this interview, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't believe me. All I want to do is talk straight facts today. Just get to the real facts. This isn't personal. This is anything. I just want the facts to get out there. So give the man some respect on these interviews and give him a chance to really ask the real questions that he want to ask, that you all want to know, and give a chance just to listen. Hear for yourself. Don't let somebody else tell you what to think, tell you what to believe. Let's get into the real facts of everything. Aside from that, I'm a little under the weather. I've been sick for about a week, so excuse me. And Zeb, no comments on the hair, all right? All right? I got two little soccer boys with the little soccer hairdos trying to look like Cristiano Ronaldo and all that, so I told them I'd grow my hair out, and to be honest with you, it's really not working that well for me, so let's leave that part out of the interview.
Man, let's jump right into it, man.
Right.
Abkc Nationals aftermath. Let's talk about one of the big things, the bus winning Nationals. One of the things that many people complained about was, and Ty, my man, that's my man, the ethics point of view. And the reason we're going to talk about that is over the summer, me and Ty, you know, we did a big marketing thing with the Bully Market and Kev of the Lounge, Midwest Monsters, that big collaboration. And with Ty having his podcast, you know, he did a lot of interviewing with Robert Lee, the owner of the bus. Keeping in mind, Ty was responsible for all other breeds at Nationals, and you have Rolando Mata, who had the American Bully side. In my opinion, let's jump right into it. In the category where you had Bowser and the bus, it could have went either way. Rolando picked Bowser in that category. In the category where you had the bus and Beyonce, in my opinion, Beyonce had a better performance, but Rolando was on Ty's podcast and talked about it's not just about performance, but also the structure and the confirmation of the overall dog. What is your thoughts on that? As far as do you feel it was a conflict of interest with Ty being a part of that process of judging when it came down to the Best in Show? Speaking on that, let's get into to another topic. Terrell Hall of Fame. When did you find out that he was might be coming to Nationals?
You know what? I didn't know that until Sean came up and told me that he came to the door and they turned him away. I didn't know that. You know, if you want to get into that, we can get into any of that too.
Yeah, let's get into that, because you know, a lot of people were disappointed that he wasn't able to get in. Do you want to speak on that as far as what actually went down with that? Because okay, let's get into it. You know,
yeah, let's get into everything. That's what I'm here for today. I'm here to get into anything that you want to get into, that the community wants to get into. Like I said, I don't ever fear a topic. So, and I don't want to be politically correct today,
let's talk about that. Why was he turned away?
I think about this interview. Let me just change subject real quick. I'm just stating facts on this interview. None of these things today are going to be my personal feeling. This is just facts that I want to talk about. So, dogs. So.
Now I'm gonna ask you: do you plan on selling the Abkc? That was one of the big things that came up.
You know, people
you're going to sell the Abkc.
In the company.
What was the deciding factor bringing Miyagi in? Because that's another big talk. And just to clarify, is Bullseye Blood a part of the Abkc?
Those.
Let's talk about the early beginnings of the Abkc.
Right.
One of the topics a lot of people were talking about was Holiday.
Holiday, okay.
Talk about his involvement with the registry, and a lot of people were discussing why didn't the registry really give him a mention as far as
we did give him a mention. Yeah, we did.
Talk about
Facebook.
That. Talk about that.
Well, let's back up then. We're gonna talk about the history. Let's just talk about the history. So people, but the respect for Holiday is always there, always gonna be there.
Let's talk about the early beginnings of putting the standards together with the Abkc. Who was a part of that process in putting the standards together for the Abkc?
The original.
Another topic I want to get into. People say that you mix breeds, you mix dogs, mix bulldogs into the American Bully. I want you to get into that and talk about did you own other breeds besides the American Bully?
Yeah,
One of the other talks is about Cairo.
That
people don't believe that he ran off. I know you got to talk about this again, man. We go ahead.
You know what? I've told you the real story. The thing is, people bring these conspiracy. There's some weird people out here, Zeb. In all honesty, do people ever just sit back sometimes and think, when you hear these things, these are some really strange people, really, really, really weird people in our world. This world that we live in is kind of strange because to us, we're just normal people. But we've lived in a type of situation where we've almost kind of lived like a celebrity status at certain times. I mean, there are times in this where we were like celebrities. There's times in this where freaking artists all knew me, rappers and entertainers, and I could walk into clubs and VIP sections, and it's we've done a lot in the limelight to where a lot of us original faces, we have been in a celebrity status. So you get these weird kind of stalkers kind of people, man, and that's just what it is. And you get weird people that say weird things, for real, really weird stuff. So I don't know how some people can't just sometimes sit back man, this is just weird. Okay, first of all, people say weird things happen in Cairo. Timing doesn't even add up to the things they say. When we lost Cairo, I was still with Jeannie. Me and Jeannie she was my partner. We could talk about her too later on if you want, because she was an essential part of Razor's Edge for a period of time. But when we lost Cairo was here. Tootsie was here. Cruz had shipped Tootsie out to breed at Cairo. We had him in a pen. We put him in a pen. Tootsie, unfortunately, the dog that would take the padlock out. You had to lock the padlock on Tootsie. If you didn't, she popped the padlocks out. And that night, we didn't. Woke up in the morning, they were both gone. I searched all morning for them. No trace. Went to work. Jeannie came home early from work. She searched, ended up calling me at work. Found Tootsie. She was back, all scratched up. She had been out there. Never found Cairo. Contrary to any drama, rumors, whatever, me and her weren't on the outs at that particular time. We were still in a good relationship. There was no me going one way, her going another way thing happening. This was still early on. And we went through hell. To be honest with you, Cairo to me was the production that made me feel as a breeder I reached my goal. When Cairo was that dog. Really was. At that particular time, he wasn't an American Bully, which is another thing we should talk about, of when dogs became American Bullies and what dogs were pit bulls. Cairo was a pit bull, but he was my vision of what it should have been. That was when Cairo was made. That was it. I didn't even have the desire. That once Cairo was lost, it took away my, it took away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Man. It hurt me in a different kind of a way, and it kind of made me not want to do it anymore. I even tried a few generations after to reproduce him, and I couldn't reproduce him. He was a one of a kind, but he was once that dog that was this is what Razor's Edge is. This is what we wanted the Razor's Edge and Pit Bull Terrier to be, And it hurt a lot of us. It hurt Jeannie. People don't understand. There's many nights that he had a stump out here. There's a famous stump on the trial. He always took pictures. He would always post up on the stump, and that's right here behind me. The stump's gone many years ago. But afterwards, there's nights that she sat out there crying. Just sitting out there on his stump crying. Had pictures in both of our car windows of him. We put out a $10,000 reward for the dog. That is what it is.
One of the things social media brings up is your relationship with Jeannie.
Yeah.
That you tell your side of the story.
You know, I don't really get into personal stuff because personal things really shouldn't apply in the dog world. We should be talking about dogs. However, because it's been brought up so many times, I will touch on that. And that's what I did, and I continue to do.
Now, did you have any type of relationship with Ellen Cross Kennedy? Ellen Cross Kennedy.
Who's Ellen?
Ellen, she said you in the early beginnings that you got a lot of...
Oh, Minot's Ledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Minot's Ledge. Okay, and I'll tell you the history of Minot's Ledge. Okay.
One of the other topics I want to jump into. One of the big projects that took place in the bully world was where it all began. That DVD that Bobby put out. What was the original concept in the beginning of putting that project together, and where did it go south? Just so we can clear this up for the people.
Clear it up.
Were certain people you did not want in that documentary? Because one of the things that were mentioned was that you kill dogs, that you poison dogs.
Yeah, that I
talk about that.
Let's talk about
that.
Yeah,
that's a big thing though, to put an accusation on somebody to say they killed dogs. I gotta ask, since you brought up Chaz, at any point did you take his name, Atlanta Palooza?
Hell yeah, we'll talk about Chaz too, because I like Chaz. Chaz was a guy that came out here years ago, and I tried to help Chaz out. I like the guy, and everybody knows. If you want to see it, you can see the old flyers. The Razor's Edge first show, Back to the Bullies. The original name was Bully Palooza. First we started out Pitbull Palooza. Then we decided that was too harsh. Said Bully Palooza. Andreas Silvacci, Abkc, knows this to be true because he made the flyers. You know? And that was, then we ended up saying, you know what, we're just going to call it Back to the Bullies, a Bully Palooza. And that's what we ended up running with in the end. When Chaz decided to have a show in Atlanta, and Leonard Evans is the person that you can speak to about this because he can give you the whole story about this. Nobody would show. You know, like he couldn't sell the booth, nothing was happening. He came to me about the show and said, you know, I said, I got a name that I didn't really fully use. If you want to use a name, Bully Palooza, go ahead and use that name. And he did. And that show, Bully Palooza, started out, nobody was buying booths, nobody was doing anything. He had a group called The Franchise at the time, you know. And he got with us, the Lead Edge, can you all help us? Because, you know, back then the Lead Edge board is what the bully community only existed in the Lead Edge board. That's where this bully community, there was no Facebook, none of these other things. That's where this community existed. So, you know, within that, we decided to help him. Leonard Evans, who's now with WBA, helped him out and said, look, I'll promote it, because he was the Lead Edge president at that time. I guess, I don't know, manager is what he was. And he started promoting it everywhere. And that show sold out, you know, and then we really helped him out. And that show was completely supported by Atomic Dog, Abkc, Elite Edge. If you went to those shows, all the banners around it were always Atomic Dog, Abkc. We brought everything to the table, stages. We did everything we could possibly do to turn that show out. No disrespect to him because he threw a great show, but he's not remembering who really supported that, promoted that, and pushed that, and made that a success with him. And the truth was in the pudding, the year that he decided not to use Abkc and to go, because he bought into BBCR, which was a shorty bull registry that we gave the platform to as Abkc, just so people know the history of this. But the first year they had it, Bully Palooza, without Abkc, EE, Atomic Dog and all that, 30 people showed up, you know, and that's just what it was. So yeah, saying that I take his name or whatever, no, I gave him permission to use a name that we had already used, and we helped promote that show. So a lot of people think like, oh, Dave's dirty, cutthroat or whatever. You know what? In business, sometimes you got to be cutthroat in business, because my thing is we're trying to keep a community together. We worked hard to build a community and a lot of things. And if I'm there giving you all I got, everything I got, giving you, helping you with name, helping you support, making all the entities that I'm involved in support this, invest in this, do this, everything we have, and then you turn around and decide like, hey, well, I've used you all, I'm done with your help and all that. Of course, you got to be somewhat cutthroat at that point in time, because like, damn, everything we've done and invested in and all this stuff that we brought to the table, then you just walk away like, man, we helped build it. Of course, you're going to try to gather back all the stuff that you did and make it work. I mean, that's just business smart, man. You know, and if you're not business smart, then you shouldn't even be in business. That's just what it is.
You know, another person I got to ask you about, because people ask why is he on the Abkc list? Kev Green with that.
I like Kev Green. Okay, me and Kev never had no thing. I tried to help Kev Green out. Kev, you know, Regina and Deanna had your back. Regina went out of the way to do a million things for you. Never charge you, saving you money, a million things she's done for you. You know, Deanna in the office had your back. When all these other hosts complained about your shows not being up to par and all these things, you know they had your back. You know we all supported you, had your back. Kev Green is on the list solely because of a debt. And it says on there, it explains to people why. Money was given, lent, under circumstances, under a contract, not repaid. Go on there, read what it is. It's nothing personal. Pay your debt, come off the list. People throw those things out there to make it look like that, you know. But let's get to the facts. Like I said, we'll talk facts today. Get to the facts. The fact is, you left and burnt a company on finances that were lent to you. Take care of your debt. Then there's nothing. There's no bad words being said. So just take care of your debt. That's it.
I want to go back to one thing at Abkc Nationals, because quite a few people were talking about it. I just want to get clarification on that. You know, Ty and one of the handlers for the champion Frenchie from last year, you know, had a little bit of confrontation about the weight.
Yeah. That's
was that, did Ty do the right thing in that situation?
Okay.
I don't know if you can even speak on this, because you probably don't even really see it that much. You know, people are talking about the best bullies aren't picked in the ring, and the bullies aren't the same as they used to be. You know, let's talk about that.
First of all, I tagged you today in something, because you can go back and reference on my page. I used a profile picture recently of me handling Paddington at a show, and once I started getting feedback from people commenting on it, I was like, you know what, let me give you a little trip down memory lane so people could see the change of Razor's Edge through the generations. And then I added in some of the old Gotti stuff and some of the people that crossed the Gotti and the Edge together, so people could take a trip down memory lane and see where it was at what stage of the way. Because a lot of times things are referenced as it used to be, but they're referencing Pitbull or referencing Amstaff, not referencing American Bully as when it started. There's a post on my page, again, that I tagged you with. Chris Tucker put it up and I shared it. And it shows the similarities of popular American bullies in the beginning of the American Bully phase, popular American bullies now, and the similarities between the two and the likenesses of the two, and that there's not much difference. A lot of people use that, and they're using that stuff wrong. They're referring back to dogs that weren't American bullies. Like I told you before, we created this breed by breeding for mass and substance. And if you check Razor's Edge through history, go check that post and use that as a reference. A lot of dogs that... And
you just said it. You said Carol was...
A pit bull. But in this post I put what the dog was at this time, what this was at this time. So you could see this era Amstaff, this era UKC pit bull, this era American Bully. Or I even have a transition era, because Roe and them were like that transition era. Cairo was a pit bull. Roe was a pit bull when we started to come up with the concept of American Bully. So he's a transitional dog. Rizzy, American Bully. And then all his generations after Rizzy, American Bully's American Bully. Go look at the females that I have. You tell me, I got a list of females, tons of females that I think I put like 12 of them on a page that were all American Bully females. And you tell me they don't look like the American Bullies of today. You know, they do. A lot of people are confusing. There's a lot of false talk going on now about things that aren't true. And a lot of it's stemming from one avenue, you know? And I look at it like, this isn't true. Like, we'll use Denzel as an example, because Denzel, that's a questionable, you know, scenario there. I produced Denzel's mother. She's my breeding, Holly Berry. Holly Berry is a dog that I made. I own Shamu. Okay, I produced Shamu. Look at Shamu. You tell me Shamu doesn't look like American Bullies today. Go look at a picture of Shamu. She's on that post, you know? And the example I'm going to give you is on there. She is a version of an American Bully today. I bred Shamu to Thug. Thug was a big, sloppy, Gotti dog. Okay? So Halle Berry is 50% Razor's Edge blood, 50% Gotti blood. The same stuff that's behind Dax and all those other dogs, the same look that you see today in those dogs, that is half of Halle Berry's pedigree. She's a Razor's Edge made dog. I shipped her to Dorino Kennels. They were friends back then. She went out of heat. I let her stay there for the second heat, bred her Thug. The entire litter was mine. They got attached to the dog, and we ended up working a deal later on where they got to keep her. But that is my breeding, Razor's Edge breeding. Holly was my pick of the litter. When I met T, he was breeding a Lapahus, I believe, a Bulldog breed. And that's how he got in contact with me. I wanted him, me and become friends, I wanted him to, and I allowed him to get Holly because I wanted him to have something good, you know. On a deal, though, that she was bred to Little Row, and I got pick female back out of it, which I never did get. So, people don't know the whole story, but I think you got to tell the whole story. Denzel, mom is 50-50, and she's 50 the same blood that goes back behind Dax and all the dogs. Go look at a picture of Thug, he's on there. You tell me Thug does, the dogs that people are like slandering now, look like that dog. That's the same dog in the pedigree. So, a lot of what's being preached is fake, because a lot of that stuff is stuff that these people already have, they have it in their dogs anyway. So they're like talking bad about this, yet that's what you got. You can't deny that, you know. Demon Boy was not created by me, okay? Sean Jackson is really the creator of Demon Boy. What happened in that situation, I placed Blueberry, was a Razor's Edge dog with Sean, and the first breeding was a Razor's Edge breeding, and I got my dogs back and all that. End of deal. Next time he went to breed, we were here at my house. Bashar was here with Magoo, and a young Magoo, you know. And we were all here as a show. Actually, it was Sean's show that was going to happen the next day that Bashar came in for. You know, we were all sitting here in the yard, or the day after the show. I don't remember which way it was. It doesn't matter. So, when we were here talking, I had done a breeding with Powder and Magoo, and it didn't take. So Bashar told me, yeah, if you want to redo the breeding, you know, I'll let you redo the breeding. This was before Magoo had a big name and all that, you know. So anyway, we were sitting here, and then Sean was talking to Bashar. I said, man, I like to use Magoo on Blueberry, you know. He was going to use another dog, but he wanted to use Magoo on Blueberry. Bashar said, what do you think about that deal? I said, man, that would be nice, you know. And I like Magoo. I think he was a good-looking dog, you know. So I said, yeah, I would do that. That would be nice. I said, man, but I want to pick up that litter. And Bashar was like, oh, man. I said, man, come on. You give me the pick of the litter. Let's work this deal. He said, all right, you're right. I'll give you the pick, but then you don't repeat the breeding with Magoo. You know, that's my gift for your breeding, and that could be your dog and your name. I said, okay, cool. And then Sean was cool with it, too. So everybody was cool with it, you know. And that was that breeding was going to go down. Only thing Bashar said is, I ask of you is you put them on the cover of Time of Dog magazine. Cool. I'll do that. I'll pay the money, put them on the cover. Little did I know we were going to fold Time of Dog. But anyway, long story short, breeding happened. Boom, I got my pick. And the deal that I had, because the mom's Razor's Edge, and Bashar gave me basically his breeding, I would get my dog and put my name on my dog. And that's what it was. And I got my name and put it on my dog. Never discredited anybody. Everybody's got their part in it. It was great. Sean did a great job with the litter, raising the litter, everything, you know. Bashar, great offer he gave me. Much respect for that. You know, Demon Boy, beautiful dog. Beautiful dog, man. So what? He's not 100% Razor's Edge. His dad's is 25% Dax, okay? Magoo's 50-50, okay? So what? I mean, he's still my dog. I still put my name on him. It was still something that I orchestrated, was part of a partner in, you know, had my right to put my name on it. So what? His name is Razor's Edge. That's what it is, Razor's Edge Demon Boy. He's a Razor's Edge owned dog. His bloodline is not 100% Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge did have some say in the breeding and some, as we just talked about, you know, association in the breeding. But he's a Razor's Edge dog. He's my dog. Razor's Edge, as a bloodline, we've always had little bits of outcrosses along the way. Always. Never not. You can't continue a line without having an outcross. You can't. You'll breed yourself into a corner. That's why you got kink tails and Razor's Edge and things like that, because people didn't breed out. They weren't flushing the blood. They weren't trying to fix flaws and bring in traits or wash out traits. You have to do that. You have to. And in the American Bully breed, whether you like it or not, Dax is in the American Bully breed. Dax his ancestors were part of the American Bully breed. They were the foundation outside of Razor's Edge to the American Bully breed. Dax was a dog that competed in an era and did his thing. Like, nobody complained about Dax back in that era when he was showing. Nobody had anything to say about him. Dax was, you know, Dax, the hatred on Dax came in recent years for some reason, which I don't know. You know, of course he's bringing traits both ways to the table. All dogs do. I mean, yeah, there's some bad traits behind the dog, of course. But good breeders know what to use and how to wash and move things around, you know, whatever. But so what? He's got 1/4 Dax, 3/4, you know, this stuff. He's a Razor's Edge dog, and that's what he is. And why? Why should I not own a dog or have a dog that represents the encompass of the American Bully? Why not? If I'm the face of a PR of a company that represents a breed, I can no longer just be the face of just one aspect of that. I'm representing the whole thing. So why should I not have a dog that has a little bit of everything in it that's in this breed and represents the breed, the look of, you know, that breed? Why shouldn't I? Where's the problem with that? To say, oh, they shouldn't own a dog unless it's 100% Razor's Edge, that's ridiculous. The concept is ridiculous, man. Of course, I want some dogs that have pure Razor's Edge blood, and I've always got them somewhere, because eventually I do want to do something, you know, and bring back some of my old blood. But for me to own a dog that's a representation of the American Bully breed and the bloods that are in it, and mine being the predominant one in that dog, where's the problem? What is the problem with it? I don't see a problem with it. And it's gotten so bad, Zeb, that I didn't even want to carry the weight of it, because people, I said, you know what, I'll move them with my partner over there in Scotland. Let William keep them, represent them, you know, let him do that. And I actually took a back seat, because I was like, all right, fine, you know what? Too many people complain. William take him. William's done a great job, you know, with a dog. And he's more the face of William's kennel is, you know. He's using him as his logo now, you know. And rightfully so. He's done a lot for Dynamite, you know. His daughter is unbreakable bond. That's why I don't really want the dog back. Anyway, I would separate a dog from a kid and all that. And William's done his thing with him, and rightfully so, and deserves it, you know. So he's more of a Dynamite dog at this point in time than a Razor's Edge anyway, you know. So I don't see the problem. I think it's ridiculous. And the same people that hate on the dog, I got text messages, I will tell you, they wanted to breed the dog. The same people that hate, I got a text message where they wanted to breed the dog and were thanking me for giving them an opportunity. So don't believe the hype. This new stuff in the community is, a lot of this is spearheaded by people with freaking concepts that they want to destroy us. They flat out said they want this community to burn. That's their goal, that's their purpose. And for us to even divulge in that, to allow the hate and allow the turmoil and allow all those things, and like these are like, it goes against the core of what makes us all want to be here. This is the feel-good kind of thing, man. This isn't a feel-bad kind of thing. Like, and I used the term hate speech before, because that truly is hate speech. If you really watch it, that's hate speech. It's designed to make us hate each other. It's designed to make us angry, to make us mad, to go against each other. It's designed to be like snitch type stuff. Where, I mean, come on, this is like, cats certain claiming to be street cats, but then they're dry snitching on other things. I was like, come on, man. Who in this world really wants to partake in something like that? That's not man stuff. That's not stuff that we want to do as men. That's not stuff as a community we want to be part of. We want to be part of being unified with each other and showing love and support for each other. You're not going to agree with everything that ever happens. No, that's not the case. But never once have we not been a community where we can communicate with each other, work together with each other, come up with a solution, come up with something that betters the community, betters the breeds, all these things. Never have we not been that way. Never. And we do this by communicating, working together, not tearing each other down. When we get into tearing each other down, we're going to tear the whole core of everything down. And that's not what we're about. We're about being together, unified together through good and bad. We work it out as a community, and we are a community that's a worldwide community now with nothing but love and respect. And I will tell you something. I only want to be part of something that is about something. I never want to be part of something that is anti-something. That means absolutely nothing. We're something because we came together, we work together, and we continue to work together, and we have the love and respect for each other. The second you throw those things out the window, you've destroyed what the essence of what we all are and what this breed truly is. And that's all it really is, man. And that's really all I got to say about it. I hate to see things that way, but it's not the mass majority. The mass majority is still doing the right thing. And that's what we support, and we're going to continue to support. Look, y'all gotta understand something. Like I said in the beginning, me and this man have not always seen eye to eye. We went a pair where we would cross paths and didn't even look at each other because we had a disagreement on something. So, you know, a lot of things people think are scripted or not. This is not scripted. It's facts. I said I would answer anything and anything. If they don't have respect for you, something's wrong, because you've brought this community from every aspect of it. You've never been one-sided. You've never just taken anybody's side. You've tried to give it to everybody, and you do it at your own expense. Yeah. So nothing but respect for you, man. Good and bad, we still here. We still doing our thing. We are still men that can communicate back and forth with each other, even when we have a disagreement,
man. Hey, real talk. That's why I support the Abkc, man. Because, like I said, we can have disagreements about stuff, and we still can talk and chop it up, man. So I ain't got nothing but respect for that, man.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna let you know, there's some people here that I don't know if you want to put my camera, but a bunch of old heads came through the house today just because they in the house drinking right now. They came to see you, Zeb. So a lot of people forget some of the old faces. I got some old cats here that want to come down and have a talk with you. And just so you know, we as the Elite Edge, I'm not the manager or anything. Sean runs that now. But the old Elite Edge, some of the original guys, we want to sit down and talk to you because there's a lot of guys that are seeing things now. They're like, wait a minute, wait. This isn't the faces of the Elite Edge. It wasn't the way the things were supposed to be. And there's a lot of false stuff going out there. So there's a lot of guys that want to step up and talk to you. I know my man Rocky, Time to Shine Kennels. I know Lynn. You know, there's a bunch of us that started that. We're going to pull this thing together. So we're going to do something later on with you with that. So let me get some of these guys out here so they can holler at you.
All right, let's do that.
All right.